Eric, it is so good to run into you again. It's been almost 10 years. I think Hannah was the last
Oh,
time we chatted in person.
wow. Oh, it was great to see you, Tony. Thank you.
I I I want to start off by saying your this movie is a nail biter. It is one of the best mystery films I think I've seen in a few years. So congratulations on The Dry.
Oh, thank you very much. No, it's a genre that I very much enjoy watching myself, and so to be a part and learn a bit about how to crack the code of this kind of film and make it as cinematic as possible was a great challenge, and we're really excited to for the audience to see it.
Do you have a process in accepting a role? Does it have to have certain things in it for you?
Yes, just pure love. I just go through that pile of scripts and until I am gushing over the script and the character, and that's what I say yes to, and I just keep reading until that Cupid moment. So it's a pretty simple formula. It's one that I've always had, and I just feel like I have to fall in love with it, and the audience may not always, but I definitely have to, and that's it's really the process is that simple for me.
There are a few moments in this film. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but there are a few moments in this film. There is a scene you share with Genevieve that is absolutely one of the best scenes I think I've seen in a long time. She must be an amazing acting partner.
She was incredible. I was just so fortunate to have her. When I read Jane Harper's book, The Dry, and I got to the scene, which I'm pretty sure it's the one you're talking about in particular, where Aaron goes to Gretchen's farmhouse and has a conversation. It turns into a bit of a confrontation. It starts out with being a scene of immense hope and takes this turn. That was a point at which I wanted to do the film when I read the book. I was like, I really want to play Aaron Falk. I want to be the actor who gets to say these words in this scene. And Genevieve O'Reilly was just absolute perfection as Gretchen. I was really really fortunate to get a chance to work with her and have her as my partner in the film.
Was there a chemistry test, or did you guys know each other before the film?
We knew of each other. We'd never met before. We got to hang out because we obviously were shooting in a remote location, and we were just all out there for the 2 or 3 months. And she came out from the UK by herself and just stayed in a motel and was just such a trooper and embraced the whole experience of filming in a tiny, tiny country town.
Let's talk about that because the locations where you were are a character in this film. I mean, this movie is about this desolate, dry kind of place, and Robert Connolly's camera just did an exceptional job in capturing it.
Absolutely. So it was always our intention to be true to the book. And one of the things that the book did incredibly well was depict a regional country town in Australia immensely accurately. And it also had a massive sense of scope and scale to it and the depiction of the countryside. So our DP, Stefan Duccio, and director Robert Connolly, a lot of work went into making this as cinematic as humanly possible. And we had a massive theatrical release here in Australia, and it was always the plan for the film. So yeah, a lot of work went into creating the most visually transportable experience, particularly for an international audience. Absolutely.
And speaking of audiences, I mean, what do you think audiences are going to be pulling from the film once they see it?
Look, I think particularly for an American audience, I think they will feel like they've travelled. I mean, this is one of the most accurate depictions of regional Australian life that I think we've ever put on screen. A lot of Australian films depict like the outback and have a lot of caricature kind of representations of the country. And this is the countryside that we Australians relate to and understand. It's these little regional towns that we travel through in order to get from point A to point B, or that we spend time in. And it was really important to us that as much of it as is a thriller and all those elements, that we captured the nuance of country Australia.
And during the filming, you were dealing with brush fires.
Yeah, so we shot the beginning of 2019 and the height of the peak of the drought. And that is an essential element because the town in the book is drought ridden, and that adds to the drama and the tension and the physical repression, I guess, of the town. And pre-pandemic and all that. So we really got our timing very fortuitous.
I do know a little bit about you, after many times of interviewing the time traveler's wife and Star Trek and Troy and all the junkets we've been on. Do you miss doing comedy?
um, I don't miss the stand up as much as I miss the sketch comedy. I do sometimes watch the news and think there's a few people that really need to be brought down a peg or two. And sketch comedy was really handy for that. But someone pointed out to me the other day, that it would be much harder in today's world because everyone's references are so varied. It's hard to have unless you're going after like a politician or something, it's hard to have a shared reference of that. So I do miss. I had the time of my life doing sketch comedy. I love it. Yeah.
I'd love to see you do something like that, especially if COVID, goes away and we can get back to theater. I know that you have a love for that as well.
Yeah, look, it's been a long, long time since I did stand up, and I've been, blessed with a incredible choice of roles since then, and I found it hard to sort of walk away from that. So yeah,
What are you working on next?
I'm not too sure. I'm going through the pile and waiting to fall in love again with something. I've spent a lot of last year working on a screenplay that I've been adapting for quite some time, but. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Waiting for the world to get back to normal and looking forward to going back to work for sure.
Any chance of you hopping behind the camera?
Some chance, some chance. Yeah, I did a documentary some time ago called Love the Beast, which I had a great experience making. And yeah, you never know. You never know. It might happen.
Well, congratulations again on the draw. You have such a great cast. What a crew, by the way, to film this as well. It was an extraordinary piece of cinematography.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, like I said, it's every decision made on the film was for the big screen. We shot on the latest, large sensor, which is one of the first large format films shot here in Australia, because we wanted to. Rob, the director, and I are real film buffs, and Stefan Ducio, our DP, and a lot of care went into that to try and make everyone feel like this is that big screen experience.
Yeah, there was something very much a feeling of Grapes of Wrath in this, that kind of vista cinematography that just really worked with the plot of this movie. So
Yeah, and
kudos.
it's there in Jane Harper's novel. If anyone wants to reach for it, it's a really beautiful piece of work. And Jane's actually she's British. And when I first read the book, I couldn't actually believe that she was British, because she captures the essence of a drought-stricken country so well. But I guess that is quite a common thing, that someone from outside has such a beautiful take on that.
Yeah, let's not wait 10 years for the next interview, buddy.
Okay, you're on.
All right. You take care and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Great to see you. Thanks, Tony.